Hey there guys, it's Tom and welcome back to part number 10 of my F1 2015 Zero2Hero career mode, and we're here for the Hungarian Grand Prix, a track that, if you guys remember season 1 in the Ferrari, we actually did pretty well. Even though we had a bit of contact on the first lap on the actual race, we managed to have a quite good recovery and actually finish in, I think it was P4, I think it was, but our pace was actually really good, so I'm hoping for more of the same this race. However, if you guys remember last race, we did get the bankrupt unfortunate downgrade on the wheel, so we had 4 downgrades in the last race. We finished in P8, so that equated to 4 spins of the wheel, and unfortunately we spun 3 times. We got respective downgrades. Then on the last spin, on the very last one, we unfortunately landed on the bankrupt, so we've had a slam dunk for this race, and we're gonna have to run the completely default setup now. So as you can see on screen, this is the setup that I've always run, so I'm going to reset it for you guys so you can see what I'm running for this race. So I'm going to put all the values back to default, and this is what we're going to be running this race. And I've got to say, we got off in some way quite lightly, because this race you can get away with a default setup, whereas the next race and the one after that, which is Spa and Monza, a default setup is going to really hinder you. So all I can hope for is that with this default setup we don't lose too much time around here, and we can really try and get some upgrades back, because of the new rules now and the upgrades and downgrades, we need to finish on the podium to get at least 1 upgrade. So third would be 1 upgrade, second is 2 upgrades, and winning the race is 3 upgrades. So we're going to have to try very hardest to get at least 1 upgrade for the next race, and hope that it's something good for the next race in Spa, where we're going to need some straight line speed. So here we are in practice as per usual, and this is our first time lap, and the car should felt pretty good around here. I'm not going to lie, even though it's default setup, like I said, you can get away with it, like I mentioned, and the car felt okay. I was very slow in a straight line compared to the rest of the other cars, but overall my pace was pretty good. We did a first lap there, as you can see, P7, 1.3 seconds off the pace, but we continue to do a couple more laps, and at the end of our second time lap here, you'll see now in a moment, we're going to come across the line, and this lap was actually much better than the first one. And we open up the RS here, we cut the front of the corner, they cross the line, and we got up to P2 there, only a 10th off of Kimi Raikkonen, so a much better lap there second time round. And we actually went for 1 more lap after this, just to make sure and cement our place with our pace here at Hungary. And that wasn't on my intention to make that rhyme, but our third lap was actually awful there. As you can see, half second off, and the tyres did start to go off from there on. So I decided to abandon the rest of the session and save the tyres, because obviously the car was not really going any faster because the tyres were starting to wear. So that was some good pace in practice, and hopefully we can carry it on to the race, because we need a big result here in Hungary. So here we are then, it is race day here at the Hungarian, and like I said in practice, we're going to want to put in a good shift today to get some upgrades, because we are desperate for some upgrades to try and keep the gap to Lewis Hamilton in the championship. And I'm looking at the grid, as you can see, we're actually not starting last, we're starting P18, so Mary and Hulkenberg actually had respective incidents. I believe Hulkenberg got disqualified in qualifying, and then Mary had a grid penalty or something from practice, so that's an interesting one there, and that means that we're actually going to start a whole row ahead of where we normally would, so that's going to give us a little bit of an advantage here as we gear up to the further lights for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And we are underway here at Hungary. We actually get a pretty poor start this time on the option, so on the prime tyre we're actually starting on for a change, and then we get a really poor start here off the line. Mary doesn't pass us, only Hulkenberg, who's had an absolutely blistering start here as we try to put our car up the inside of turn 1, try and make some positions as we overtake Stevens and Hulkenberg, just trying to slide our car there up the inside. Hulkenberg still on our outside as we go side by side at the exit of turn 1, going through turn 2 now into turn number 3. Can we hang it around the outside of Nico Hulkenberg here? We're going to try and do that as we go around the outside here. Hulkenberg still with us side by side, but we are going to get the better traction on the exit, and we're going to take the inside line and cover him off, and we're up into P17, and now we're in the back of Danny Kvyat as we try to squeeze up the inside here. Can we overtake him up the inside of turn 5? Yes, we can. We got up the inside of Danny Kvyat there, really close move, almost hitting the back of him there, as now we're going to go around the outside of turn 6 on Perez also, maybe, as we get the good traction on the exit there, and we're going to go into the chicane, 2 wide. Who's going to blink first? And it's going to be me, unfortunately, as we could try and hang it around the outside of Perez at the chicane, and what a move that is on Sergio Perez there, up into P15 so far around Monaco without the barriers, as it's called here, the Hungarian. And we're now on the back of Roman Grosjean and Pastor Maldonado. Can we hunt the 2 Lotus drivers down? Also Fernando Alonso there in the mix with the 2 Lotuses, having a little bit of a scrub on track as we get a really good run out of that corner as we go into the final 3 corners of the track. As we got the inside of Grosjean here at this right hander, we've got the inside Grosjean's still alongside us as we go side by side into the penultimate corner. Grosjean brakes much later. We're going to set up Grosjean for a cutback, but Kvyat has snuck his nose up our inside, or is it Perez? No, it's Perez actually who snuck our nose up the inside, and we're going to have to hold the inside line through the final corner now as we get on the power as soon as we can. Try and straighten up the car, get on the power nicely. Then we're in the slipstream now, but as you can see, we've got no straight line speed here at Hungary. Like I mentioned in practice, our straight line speed is shocking, and we've got someone right coming up alongside us. And who is it? It's Danny Kvyat here going up the inside of us at turn 1, so it wasn't Perez, so Kvyat must have taken Perez up the inside of the final corner, and that's allowed Kvyat to get past us up into P15, and we're down to P16 for the time being. So a really chaotic first lap here around Hungary, and it's been absolute action so far. It's now lap 3. We're on the back of Kvyat once again, and we get a really nice cutback out of turn number 4, and we're going to get alongside him and also trying to take Fernando Alonso here. We're going to try and sneak our car up the outside. There's contact and we run wide, but I decided to give the place back to Alonso, but Kvyat sneakily gets past us. So I was going to give the place back to Alonso, but on second thoughts we lose the rear end here, going to the wall, and we lose a lot of positions to go down the P18. I was going to say on second thought, with that contact with Alonso, I was going to give the place back, but looking at hindsight, it did kind of hit me off. So giving the place back would have been a bit harsh, but nevertheless, now at the end of the lap, as you can see, we're on the back of Nico Hülkenberg now, and we're going to see if we can try and make some positions back as we're in the slipstream off the German who's slipstreaming his teammate Sergio Perez. The full seat is down at P17 and 18, very low positions for them, and we're on the back of him now, as you can see, going through turn number 1, and we're going to get a really good exit now with the DRS now enabled. We're on the back of Sergio Perez, and Hülkenberg trying to sneak up the inside of turn number 3 as we try and squeeze our way up the inside of Perez here, forcing our way through. We're going to side by side, and as we go into turn number 4, we're going to try and hang it around the outside of the Mexican here, but Perez actually gave us a little love kiss there, which sent us a little bit wide, so I decided not to give back the position, and we're now up in the P16 for the time being, but now on the back of Fernando Alonso as we get a really good exit out of turn 5. Are we going to go up the inside of the chicane? Yes, we do. We make a move, a very late breaking move up the inside of Fernando Alonso there, and that is a very nice overtake there, up in the P15 for us for the time being. And skipping later on now, and we're on the back of Kvyat once again now, so we've managed to recover back to where he was, and now with the DRS enabled down the pit straight, going on to lap number 7, we set a personal best lap time here, and Kvyat slipstream Maldonado. Can we make a move up the inside of turn 1? Yes, we do. We go for a dive bomb, Daniel Ricciardo-esque, into turn number 1 there, and make the move on Danny Kvyat, squeezing him out onto the curb as we open up the DRS for the second straight here, and we're now going to see if we try and pass past Maldonado on turn 3, but Kvyat is coming back at us now on turn 3. As you can see, he's up our inside. We're going side by side here, but we should be able to get the better traction out of 4, and yes, we do manage to make the move stick up in the P14 finally, and Kvyat definitely gave us a good run for our money there, and now we've got something trying to hunt down past Maldonado who's ahead of us, because we're trying to make some inroads now because we are losing a lot of time, already 7 laps into this race, as now we get a really good cutback on Maldonado through turn number 6, and we're going to try and slot the car up the inside of the chicane there and squeeze Maldonado out. I'm ripping the P13 there, so a very nice move there, one of the best undercuts I've actually pulled off, or cutbacks depending on how you want to call it, and one of the best ones I've ever made in a long time there. Absolute textbook stuff there, so we get a complete beautiful switch back on him there, and we really made the move stick nicely. It's now on the back of Roman Grosjean, Maldonado's teammate now, and then can we make a move on the Frenchman. Actually got a podium at Spa yesterday, so definitely props to him for getting that podium. But now we're on the back, and as you can see, we're going to line the car up the inside of the promo corner. We're going to try and stick our nose up there, and Grosjean's going to manage to hold it around the outside. So really good defensive drive from Grosjean. So we've got a car in the pits there, and now we're going to try and hang around the outside of the final corner. There's a bit of contact between us there. Grosjean's still on their inside as he hits us once again, forcing us out wide, but we are going to manage to hang it around the outside of the Frenchman as we've got a Saab. I think that's Ericsson in the pits there, and now Grosjean's right on our slipstream. Can he make a move to turn 1? We're going to go a little bit defensive here, and Grosjean's not going to go for the move. So far so good for us as we make that move stick, and what an absolute hectic race so far, and I'm going to lose my voice in this one, I can guarantee you. But here we are now on that number 8. As you can see, we're on the back of Max Verstappen, and we're going to once again, just like Maldonado, get a really good cutback out of turn 6, and we're going to try and go up the inside of the chicane once again and make the move stick. Textbook stuff there, and that's the 3rd time I've done the overtake now. One of my favourites of the race, definitely getting a really nice run through 6, which allows us to go up the inside of 7 and 8. So really good overtake there on Max Verstappen. Now we're on the back of Jenson Button, and as you can see, we're right on these gearboxes. He's going really slow through this section of corners here, the middle sector, and now we're going to get a really good run out of that corner there, which is going to allow us to get alongside Jenson Button here up the inside of this right hand, and we're going to go up into P9 for the time being. So a very nice move there from us up the inside, and Button definitely got no straight line speed, and that's one car that we are going to be faster than in a straight line. So that's good for us, as now you can see Sainz and I believe Ericsson, yep, that's Ericsson, so Nasser must have picked before then, so my mistake there, but Ericsson and Sainz, are into the pit lane. So we're up in the P7 for the time being, but we've got a couple more cars in the pits, and that's Hamilton, I believe, and someone else, could be Vettel, I've no idea, but we're up into P5 now for the time being, and we've got more cars in the pits now, lap number 10, and we're going to go up into P2 for the time being. So we've got some good pace here on these proms. As you can see, at the end of that lap, we do come into the pit lane as Rosberg actually caught us up on the fresh tyres, and we're going to hopefully have a good pit stop here from the Williams boys as we come into the pit lane, put the limiter on as we come across the speed limiter line, and let's hope for a good pit stop here from the Williams crew. And here we go, rolling into our pit box. As you can see, the mechanics getting to work, and they're going to put us presumably on a set of options, and my strategy this race is going to be a 3-stop, starting on the prime tyres, and then we're going to go option, option, option. So we're going to have 3 option stints in this race, so hopefully we're going to be fast enough in order to make some inroads onto the AI. So you can see we're really on the track here in P9, just behind Felipe Nasr. So we're into the points, and if you realise before the pit stops, we've actually gained a couple of positions there, and our net place has actually gone up quite a bit. So we're into the points now, and we're now behind Felipe Nasr, as you can see, with the DRS down the pit straight, cranking the engine up into rich mix as we get a lot of speed down the pit straight. We're going to try and dive up the inside of Nasr into turn 1 there, and it's a brilliant overtake there up the inside of the Brazilian there. Really nice last minute dive bomb, Daniel Ricciardo-esque once again, and definitely one of the overtakes of the race so far, but that was from really far back. And now on lap 17, we're on the back of Felipe Massa, our teammate, with the DRS down the pit strip, but I think we're a bit too far back this time, unless we go for an absolutely incredible dive bomb, which we don't do, but we have gained a lot in the braking zone there, and I believe that's Mary there right in front of Massa, holding him up a little bit, and we're going to have the DRS on Massa now. He's going to go up the inside of Mary at turn 3, and we're going to try and also make the move up the inside of Mary as well to not lose any time at all and stay right on the back of our teammates. Now going on the exit of turn 3 through turn 4, we're going to get a really nice cutback on our teammate, get right into the slipstream, and go make a move on Felipe Massa into turn number 5. We're going to try and hang it around the outside, and it doesn't work, but we do get a lovely cutback on him, as you can see, which allows us to get onto the outside of turn number 6, and we've got to try and hang it around the outside of Massa here. Now it's an absolutely brilliant move here. Massa though is still up on the inside, but we managed to pass him nonetheless, and we're up into P6 now, and skipping onto the lap number 18, onto lap number 19. Sebastian Vettel now is in the pits, I believe, and that's someone else there on the exit right there. So we'll go up into P4 for the time being. So they are pitting once again, and I believe this could be their last stop unless they go on to options, but we're now on the back of Daniel Ricciardo, as you can see, going through the third from last corner, and we're right on his gearbox. Can we possibly make a move up the inside, put up a corner? Yes, we do. Trying to stick our nose up the inside. Ricciardo gives us a real good squeeze, but we managed to squeeze him out now on the exit, as you can see, and then we're going to come into the pits actually. So we had to make that move there because we was losing a lot of time. So even though we was coming to the pits, it was worth taking the risk and making the move to not lose any more time as we come into the pit lane here, and then we're going to come in for our second stop. So we've got one more stop after this, and we're presumably going to go into the option tyre once again, around about 8 laps on these options, and then another 8 laps after that as we get the options fitted on our car, and we're down to P6 for the time being. So we're not too bad at the minute, and we've actually gained some more time. I think there's Vettel going down the pit straight. He's probably going to pass us before we get on the limiter, but once again, compared to the last stop, we've gained more time, so we're up into P7, so our pace is really good here this race, and we're still making inroads into the top 6, so which is good for us. As you can see, Hamilton's now ahead of us on track. He's just come out of the pit lane here on lap 21, and he's going to be on them cold tyres, so we should potentially try and set him up for a move, and he's on the prime tyre here, so we're going to get really good traction out of turn 2, as you can see, going through turn 3, and it's going to be an easy overtake for us there. So just hanging around the outside of Lewis, and we make a really nice move. Him on the cold tyres really couldn't put much of a fight, and we was on these fresh warm options, and we made quick work of the double world champion. And now on lap 22, we're on the back of Mary, and we've got a couple of cars in the pits here, as you can see. I'm up in the P5 for the time being. Now we're going to go up the inside of Mary, but Mary shuts the door on us completely. Lucky enough we don't lose any of our front wing, but Jesus Christ, Mary really did make that hard for himself, just shutting the door on us into turn 1, and he should have got a penalty for that. At least I hope he did. But now Massa, our teammates in the pits, as you can see on lap 23, and we're up in the P4 now. So really good stuff from us so far, and our pace is actually insane on this soft tyre. As you can see in the top right, we've set a new fast lap of the race with a 22.8, and now we're on the back of Sebastian Vettel with DRS now. Going into turn number 1, there should be a textbook move up the inside of the 4-time world champion here. We're going to go up the inside, down second gear, hit the apex just about, and we got up the inside and squeeze Vettel out, open up the DRS once again for the second time on one lap, and that is us up into P3. So a nice move there on Sebastian Vettel, and we're up into the podium positions on lap 25 with 10 laps to go, and there's about 3 laps until our pit stop, our final pit stop. So we've got to really try and squeeze these options out now. Now we've got some clear air ahead of us, and that's going to be crucial for us because as you can see, Raikkonen's ahead of us now on track. So 2 more positions and we could be in a race winning position, but we've got a yellow flag up ahead, so something's happened here. As you can see on the minimap, there's a couple of slow cars going through the chicane. Could it be Raikkonen and Rosberg? Maybe you have to wait and see. We go through the chicane there, and there's Raikkonen, and there's Rosberg. Rosberg's going incredibly slow, rather the P2 for the time being, and now Raikkonen's right in front of us. There's a Manor there. I think that's Stevens going awfully slow, and we're going to have to go around the outside, almost hitting the Manor car there, and Raikkonen just about missing him as well. Absolute chaos here midway through the lap, but we managed to survive up at the P2 for the time being, and we're on the back of Kimi Raikkonen now. So absolute scenes there. I'm presuming that was a standard incident where the man seems to slow down in the first car. Whoever's leading goes straight into the back of him, but now on lap 26 we're on the back of Kimi Raikkonen with DRS, and can we make a move for the lead of the race here? We're going to get one slipstream, pull to the inside just like Sebastian Vettel. We're going to brake nice and late up the inside of turn number 1 here, and we go up into the lead of the race for the time being. And what an absolute brilliant stint this has been with these tyres, and we are now in a race winning position. As you can see now, at the end of the lap we're coming into the pit lane for our final pit stop, and Raikkonen has followed us into the pit stop. So it looks like some of the AI cars are yet to pit for their final stop. So this is going to be a pit stop out between us and Kimi Raikkonen here. As you can see, and there's another car in the pits as well. I don't know who it is. It could be maybe Ricardo. I have no idea. It's actually Vettel in the pits. So Vettel and Raikkonen stacking in the pit lane, and Vettel held us up enough, and Raikkonen's managed to re-overtake us in the pit stop thanks to Sebastian Vettel there. So Ferrari absolutely nailed their strategy, whether it's on purpose or not to bring Vettel in and hold me up, I don't know, but we've rejoined in P5 actually. Massa just overtakes us right at the last second there, and now we're going to try and make some more overtakes with 7 laps to go. As you can see on the minimap, all the people that are ahead of us are right there in catching distance, so we're going to try and push for this race win. As you can see, we're going to go up the inside of Massa, who's on the prime tyres. We're up in the P4, and now we're going to see if we can try and hunt down Kimi Raikkonen, who's ahead of us, and if we can pass Raikkonen, we'll be back onto the podium positions in P3, which would mean an upgrade for us, which is absolutely crucial for Spa. And here we are now right on the back of Kimi Raikkonen, going through the penultimate corner, and he's struggling on these cold tyres, and we're going to make a really nice attempt to try and pass him. As you can see, we get a switchback run through the final corner, open up the DRS now, down the pit straight, and we're in the slipstream of the Iceman, and can't make a move once again like we did on him 2 laps ago. Here we go, down the pit straight into turn number 1. We're going to pull to the inside, brake nice and late. He's on the prime tyres, so we should have the better grip, and we make the move up into P2 because someone was in the pits as well, so we've made a double overtake there, and we've only got Ricardo separating us from the race victory. And here we are right behind the Honey Badger now, with pretty much 6 laps to go, and he's on warm prime tyres, so this should be easy meat for us as we go up the inside of the penultimate corner once again on Daniel Ricciardo, and we've got the grip up the inside, and we make the move up into the lead of the race, and this time it could be definitive. As you can see, we are now in the lead of the race with pretty much 5 laps to go as we come across the line now to start lap number 30, and it looks like, guys, we've actually got this as we come around the final corner on the last lap of the race, and we're going to come through to win the Hungarian Grand Prix in dramatic fashion here, and what a race. So there we have it, guys. What an absolutely incredible race. I have officially lost my voice after that, because this is going to be the longest video of Zero2Hero of the entire series. But as you can see, we take the 25 points, and not a single Mercedes on the podium. Nico Rosberg actually finished way down in 8th place after that incident, because I believe he had a puncture, and Lewis Hamilton finished in P4. So this is good for the championship, as we gain some massive points on our title rival Lewis Hamilton, and this also means that we get upgrades, and I believe we get the 4 upgrades, which is 3 upgrades, because now with the new rule change, we've decided to cap the upgrades at 3 instead of 5. So as you see in the Drivers' Championship, we're now 35 points behind Lewis Hamilton. So we've made some ground there on the British driver. And as you can see in the Constructors, we're still in 3rd place, but we've also made up some ground to Scuderia Ferrari. So overall, a pretty good positive race for us in Williams, and definitely some really good upgrades here for us. And here we are now, and we're going to skip on to the upgrades and downgrades board for you guys. And as you can see, this is the new board that I introduced last race at Silverstone, and this means that only for the top 3 positions we get upgrades. So as you can see, we won the race, so this means we get 3 spins off the wheel and the maximum possible upgrades. So we're going to spin the wheel now, and we're going to see what we get here. So hopefully it's going to be good for our straight line speed at Spa. So here we go, the first spin of the wheel, and we're going to get the rear wing. So that is an absolute joy of a freaking upgrade. That is perfect, just what we wanted, the rear wing. That is absolutely crucial for us, getting the rear wing. We definitely wanted that for Spa, and I couldn't have selected a better upgrade if I could. Now we're going to make any upgrade for our second spin of the wheel, so that is even better, so we can really maximize our straight line speed. And I'm probably going to choose the front wing as my any upgrade. So now we spin the wheel for the 3rd time, and we are going to get the front camber, so the front camber is going to be a pretty good upgrade as well for us at Spa. So overall 3 solid upgrades, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. This has gone over 20 minutes and I've lost my voice. If you guys enjoyed it, then please do smash the like button down below. If you're new on here, then please do subscribe, as I'm almost 1,600 subscribers. And that's about it from me, guys. Like I said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you're new on here, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for the Belgian Grand Prix. So from me, goodbye.